on its own by her sitting in the warm water. Now you already know at 45 minutes apart, she's not finna drop a baby, right? Now, when they last for 5 minutes, right? So once the 5 minutes of labor is up, she get up. Now she go for a short walk to another tub. In the second tub is probably a hot tub to massage the body and cause all of these hormones, this oxytocin, and it just rinses the body
Relaxes.
in love instead of pain, right? So then no longer is you in physical pain going into labor. After you do this a couple of cycles, the whole feeling that you're not in pain no more. Women know this shit for thousands of years. We just don't remember.
Yeah, because I wish I would have known. Because
Yeah.
both of my labels was no, and
This is why
obviously the last.
This is why they systematically weeded out midwives and doulas. The doula,
Of course,
a doula today would be what you call a nurse practitioner. Now,
and I was doing a lot of research, and it's what are you saying that they wasn't telling us?
yeah,
Like other than the lotus birth and the placenta, I was like, well, I know I want to do this for my baby. I was learning at that time, but I didn't know enough to where I still felt like I needed to be in that hospital. And now I know in the future I will never go through that experience again. Even I heard the lights. From the lights, the baby being born, the lights, like everything. I just learned so much.
That's the equivalent of the flasher on the Men in Black with Will Smith. When they flash, you make your memory disappear. That's what them birth lights do. When you come out, them bright ass, you're supposed to be in the ambient lit room. Preferably candlelight. You know? Look, Feng Shui is some cold-blooded shit. If you understand, look, when you understand the environment affects the mood enough to change labor pain into labor pleasure. When you get in the proper attention, the pain doesn't exist no more.
Makes perfect sense, man. Makes perfect
sense.
But
they doing the birth training and the treatment of the women all wrong. They doing it on purpose. It's not an accident.
Of course.
They deliberately doing that shit. Right?
Of course. And then they'll send you the baby a $60,000 bill because he was flown to another hospital in his name. Like, it's crazy. The kids is in debt before they even, as soon as they touch down.
As soon as you sign that birth certificate, that's the debt instrument right there.
Well, of course, yeah. More debt.
You know.
But
all of the debt is derived from that certificate.
Yes.
It's on bank paper because it's a savings bond. And the more you get, the more.
Is it true that we could use the numbers off the Social Security to get money out of an account or something? I don't know. I feel like I've heard.
You can see the account. You can see the account. But if you try to access that motherfucker, them people gonna be at your door giving you problems.
I was just gonna say, Men in Black gonna be at my door.
They're gonna give you problems because they don't want you to tell nobody. That's why they're gonna give you problems, and they're gonna try to make you think you crazy and tell you that you're wrong, but you're gonna be looking at the evidence that they telling you don't exist.
So with the system coming down, what can you say about men or women who's catching cases? Obviously, I have a friend who has a warrant, and I'm like, well, don't worry about it, don't show up. Or I was like, well, just tell him, your law don't apply to me. And he was like,
you got it's a little bit more involved in that. See, it's easy to tell somebody to tell them your law don't apply to me, but that's not the method. It's a jurisdictional challenge.
Yeah, he said he know a lot of friends who've tried that, and they treat them worse in jail. It's
not that their law don't apply to you. Make them establish the jurisdiction. They have to look. Anytime jurisdiction brought up in the court case, everything stops until jurisdiction is established. That goes for state court. That goes for federal court. That goes for international court. That goes for world court. When the jurisdiction is challenged, it has to be what you call a clear line of jurisdiction, right?
So anyone in that position should go in the courthouse and basically say,
No,
"We'll establish your
don't never go down
jurisdiction."
there to the motherfuckers, because when you go down there to dispute they shit, you are confirming their legitimacy.
Right, that's what I was saying. Just don't go.
Catch me
but
when you
gotta
catch
warn
me, motherfucker.
Right? Okay.
Gonna live my life. I'm not finna let your motherfucking artificial kangaroo court hold me up. But if you don't know how to fight the jurisdiction, you don't know how to challenge jurisdiction, you're only gonna dig yourself in worse. It's the same with the Moors and nationality papers. Because they already are an occupying agency on our land, interrupting the life flow of our people. Then we live by nature, and they're interrupting everything in nature around us in order to control us and enslave us. So, at this point, just stay out their hair. Don't get them people no problem. Listen to the motherfucking streets. They know what's going on.
Right.
Sooner or later, these motherfuckers gonna have to answer. And I'm thinking it's gonna be more sooner than later. I don't think they got another 6
we
months.
ready.
You know.
Oh, we ready.
But it's
yeah. I'm excited.
So don't go down there poking no mean dog with no sharp stick.
Of course.
You know. Make that mean dog sniff you out. Go through these motherfucking obstacle courses to find your ass, and then be belligerent when they find you. Be offended that they disturbed your peace. You know, because this is the mindset we gotta start getting in. Right? The only reason why it's crime is because they create the conditions that's perfect for the development of crime. They don't have to micromanage you to commit a crime. They just got to create the conditions, and the conditions is going to breed the criminal. They know this already. Sociology 101. Groupthink. If you deal with groupthink, the individual gets swept up in the group and can't control himself. Unless he's an alpha.
You think that's why a lot of movies say, or period, probably in jail, I've never been, when they say we'll see you back or you'll be back, is that kind of like conditioning us to want to keep coming back, or because we're going to the same environment, or the prisoner learned how to be more prisoner?
Prison is designed for it's either two things gonna happen in prison. The individual gonna take it up on himself to improve who he is. He ain't never coming back. Right? The second one is the person is gonna acclimate to life in prison as an inmate, as a prisoner. Right? It's gonna create a condition that makes him unfit to function in the outside world. I was the one who chose to use the time to its greatest advantage, rather than allow them to take the time from me. Right? But it was other guys that I would tell the worst thing in the world that you telling me right now is when I was on my last bit. Right? Because this is my first bit, and I ain't coming back. Because I can see the game. I'm telling you the game. The number one goal when you get out of here is get off that paper and go on about your life. Right? You can function in their system, or you can tear their system down. Right? I don't want to function in their system. So my whole goal been trying to figure out how to tear it down. Most of the people that see the system as this insurmountable obstacle that can't be defeated. Right? The great Kraken. The great beast Leviathan, 666. Right? So this unsurmountable beast that we call America, and none of the chiefs on the land can figure out how to get these motherfuckers out. Right? So study this motherfucking enemy until you can't study this motherfucker no more, till you know exactly how he operate. Once you know how he operate, when he come with his tricks, you already know how he coming. Interrupt his pattern, you break his motherfucking stronghold. And if you're looking around and you can see what's taking place right now, you'll see that his stronghold, that shit broke than the motherfucker.
Yes, it is.
Look, they about to fuck the world up when they tear the White House down. Cause
I'm just so ready. I think everybody. I mean, everybody. I know you ready because you right
but
there.
The average Joe,
but man,
90% of us going around and la 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 la. When that shit happen, they gonna be traumatized. They gonna be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
And we be trying to tell people and warn people, like even coworkers. I be like, "Ooh, yeah, they got Queen Elizabeth." Yes, I'm not Catholic. He probably thinking I'm like I hate Catholics or something, or I don't know. But I know what's going on, and he like they didn't kill her. I'm like, okay, whatever.
That bitch been dead.
But just trying to tell people so they won't get the shock value. But people don't want to listen. They don't want to hear it.
Right. See, because you upsetting their comfortable delusions. Right.
Mm-hmm.
See, they most of them, 9 out of 10 of them, the only reason they don't believe you is because it came from you and you're not smarter than them to them. Therefore, you shouldn't be able to tell me some shit I don't already know. Therefore, you got to be wrong because I already know I got to be right. Because if you was right, I would have already knew because you're not smarter than me.
Right.
Right. So I've been ready getting it. That's been that's why I don't like giving people advice and shit like that. They be asking me what you think. Now, you don't want to know what I think. You asking me what I think, you're going to swear up and down you want to know what I think, but it's two things going to happen. I'm going to tell you what I think, and then you're not going to fix the problem that you got with your own self that you causing all of this shit. You're not going to never fix that problem. And the second thing, if I give you the advice, and it's not going to be the advice you want me to give you, because I'm going to tell you the truth. Right? And you can tell anybody whatever you want to, but when you tell them the truth, you offend them the worst.
Yeah, I'm over it. But I was on that kick where especially when I first found you with the Larry Hoover, I was sending every video. I found you on YouTube. Like I said, I don't have social media. I'm on the family members right now. So every YouTube video you were on, I was sending to family. Even co-workers, when their boyfriends would pick them up, I'd be like, hey, you guys, Instagram? Okay, hashtag free Larry Hoover. Didn't know these people. Like, I've been fighting right along with you and everybody else. But now it's to the point where it's like nobody around me is really listening. And this is what all I've been saying since I first seen you on the Isis Wisdom Lady show. I've been following you ever since. I've been sending videos to people, and I feel like I'm the only one around me.
Okay, now watch this.
That see the struggle.
Watch what's going on behind your back. You don't see it. You sending them the videos. They asking you why you send me that bullshit, and then they go share it to somebody like they discovered it on their own.
I don't know. They told me I was going crazy.
Yeah, we always look. That's because they can't believe you discovered it before them. That's all. Keep doing what you're doing. Do everything you know is right, and don't give a fuck who get offended and who call you crazy. Look, if you knew how bad I've been talked down on by some of the people I cared about the most, how they didn't call me crazy. You know, I'm stupid. You know, stupidest motherfucker, the shit behind two shoot. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. He made that shit up. Right? And then when it happened, it come out that I was right the whole time. You know what they do? I told you he knew what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So
That is true.
They know. Anybody with 2 drops of sense know. I make this shit so clear 6-year-olds know what I'm talking about because I see the average daughter is in a 6-year-old in a grown person clothes. When I
Right.
talk to them, I talk to 6-year-olds. Right? So now I got the knack for knowing how to make the language match the mentality of the people. They in trouble now. They can tell you
Yeah.
crazy for sending them one of the videos, but they can't tell you the information wrong.
All of it. And I think what really got a lot of my family was now I had him till he was saying all these people that's dead is not really dead. Now I can't listen to it no more.
Look,
That's my mom. She was like, yeah, once he said Tupac and everybody ain't dead, nah, I can't listen.
okay.
He crazy.
Now when she see Tupac, no, this is what you ask her when you say that. This is how you got to put it to him. Just what if he telling the truth? What if he right? What does that mean?
I've broken down his music since I came to this realization with you. I'm like, he said it in this song. He's saying it. Like, I broke it down to her.
Look,
And she's still looking like,
I
you crazy.
didn't show people Tupac. Tupac was at the All Eyes on Me premiere of the movie. Tupac called in to the Coachella. He's embodying the avatar of Heru, the warrior god. So at the time that this one is being embodied, the nation is getting ready to go to war, and they're crowning him, and they're calling the ancestral force that Heru represents in the defense of the people in the nation, in the defense of the crown right here. See, when this energy transfer, now if you notice here, you see the square lines over here. See the square lines, and then over here you see the square line. So that's telling you the flow of the energy. And if you looked at the square lines, they have them enclosed as you follow the square lines in like a box. So that's the energy transfer right there. They showing it to you. It's right there in the stellar. This is the coronation that they describe in Revelations. This is where the story comes from. It comes from, the whole story is another reprint of this is the original. And it's repeated time and time again throughout the ages according to what's needed. Sometimes it's not Heru standing there. Sometimes it's Set, which means total destruction coming. Or sometimes it's Thoth, which means that we need to figure this out in a more diplomatic or in a wiser manner, you know. And depending on the deity being called forth, that determines what is needed. When all of them are needed together in one, they bring in Thoth. Because you better believe that somewhere in this mix, it's probably not on this page, but Thoth is somewhere lurking around this coronation because he's at every one of them. And this is what it looked like when you before the Galactic Council. I'm kind of amazed to find this picture that looked like it, because to try to explain it to somebody, then somebody else put it in image form where you can actually see what it looked like to be before the council of elders, 72 elders, you know. It's also the coronation ceremony. And so when all these things converge, you know how they know. Well, David Koresh ain't Jesus. How they know? Because he was a guy. The real Christ is a woman named Isis. The Son of Man is the Redeemer, the Destroyer. In the Revelation, they also call him Apollyon. They put him on the white horse to go about conquering and setting stuff back in order before the New Jerusalem ever arrives. Now, he already crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords. before the New Jerusalem arrived, but it ain't official until the New Jerusalem bring the bride, so she can properly place his crown on his head of victory. It all tell you in the book. So they got us thinking that this is a book to teach you some religion. No, this is a blueprint for anybody who want to attain Christ to follow. And that's why they start coming up with the Bible being an acronym, basic instructions before leaving earth, which is the biggest crock of malarkey. But it kind of fit in a regard when it say seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all these things be added to you, the kingdom of heaven being within. So then you see in there where they're telling you about the path to inner vision, inner enlightenment, and it's saying that when the two eyes become one, then our whole body is filled with light. They're talking about opening your third eye. But then the church tell you that's evil, to raise your kundalini, open your third eye, and resurrect your mind, body, and soul so that you can be all that you can be, because they've been taught that by the Catholic Church at the onset. If you don't know where the devil tripped you at, you don't know where he got you tied down. So I'm taking you back. I'm telling you flat out, without just what I'm telling you, what they know. And when you know what they know, you know where they deceived you at. They know that any man come about talking about he Christ, lying. But the one that tell you that the Christ is a woman, the queen of heaven and earth,